episode of Rate That Full Art Supporter. And this time we are looking at the one and only Professor Birch's observations. You all know that guy, the guy who can actually wear a lab coat plus shorts. Well, it's his turn today, and starting off, we're going to look at what can this card actually do. And what it simply does, well, let's read it aloud for everybody so they can hear it. Shuffle your hand into your deck and flip a coin. If heads, draw 7 cards, and if tails, draw 4 cards. That sounds like risk it for the biscuit to me, but hey, it was actually played quite a lot if you want to know. So I find this card inherently interesting also because I played it myself in my own decks back when it was in standard format for a brief while, it should be said. But with that said, let's look at how it is called around the world because, well, you all know that, hey, it has different names, different weird pronunciations that I'm not going to dive into. I, for one, actually own every single one of these cards in different languages, which I think is super cool because, well, I like full art supporters in different languages. We all know that by now, but hey, Professor Birch's observations in different languages, well, here you go. And let's look at what you guys ordered the card to be, in the sense that, well, what did you rate it? Remember, we're rating it 4 things: standard, expanded, uniqueness, and artwork, all ranging from 1 till 5. And noticing here, we don't see some very good scores overall, starting with standard. And this, of course, is based when the card is in standard, not the standard we're playing right now. We see a lot of people just putting it at a 3, recognizing that indeed, well, this was a played card. It was not terrible, but we didn't have much other choice. This is clearly reflected when you go into expand and see all the ones, because there's simply just better choices out there. And in terms of uniqueness, that one is pretty hard actually to justify and hard to look at here, because look at this. It's all over the place. And I, for one, cannot on top of my head come up with other cards that did exactly the same thing, but there's many things that are a similar thing, whether it be an item card, supporter card, or something else. Well, if you have any suggestions, please don't hesitate to list that in the comment section below. The only saving grace, as usual, most full art supporters, is the artwork. And this is, well, not a bad one at all. A lot of 4s, a 5 or 2, but indeed quite the best mark for the supporter. If we put all this together, rating each of them 1/4, usually we do indeed see that the artwork is the best score with 367. Putting this all together at an average of 272, you can already imagine this is not very good, but it's probably not the worst one out there. And well, indeed, we see for the 20 supporters we rated so far, yay, episode 20, we're now at the 15th spot. So slightly better than Bianca, I guess, but definitely better than Sharon. Sorry, Sharon. And this brings us to the last part here before we announce which one is the next one. That's the bonus facts that you guys send in. And what do we actually see here? This one is quite interesting. And indeed, it was the best draw supporter starting in the PRC format. And that was quite interesting. And yeah, short slap coat, we know. One thing I really want to point out here is that people saying Shauna was always better. Well, Shauna was shuffle in, draw 5. Safely, right? Where Birch was a coin flip. But taken from a statistical point of view, then Birch is better than Shauna. Sorry to state, it depends on how much risk you want to take. But on average, Birch, with its 5.5 cards on average, is better than Shauna's 5 on average, right? Although there's no variance attached to Shauna. That is what scares people from using Birch usually. It's the variance attached to the coin flip. But I'm just saying, looking at averages, Birch is better. And a few things about from the anime, actually, where they actually offer a lot of books. Can't say I read them, even though if they exist, right? And total, he's been on 5 cards, this guy. Not as Birch's observations, all of them, but also different Professor Birch variants. Go check it out. And with this said, well, we're at the end for today and announcing for the next supporter we're going to get a look at. And remember, you guys can go and vote at this. Check the comment section below for finding a link to the survey. And of course, if you have any cool bonus facts, in this case for teammates, well, don't be afraid to share them. I hope this was of your interest. My name is Stefan Eriks, and until next time. Thank you.